Welcome to this week's presentation. This time I'll take you through my construction of a miniature 400-day skeleton clock, a replica of the Gustav Becker skeleton clock. Here is the Gustav Becker skeleton clock, full size, probably the most beautiful of all 400-day clocks ever made, and certainly the only skeleton clock ever made by Gustav Becker in a limited production of around 1,500 units in 1911-1912 in various formats, and here are two. In the Horolobar 400-day clock repair guide, all of the backplates of the known 400-day clocks are shown full size, except for one, and that's the Gustav Becker skeleton clock backplate, and it's shown in half size. And what could be better than that as a starting point to miniaturize the full-size skeleton clock? In 2004, I undertook a project to make a half-size replica of the skeleton clock, and here is a silver dialed full-size original Gustav Becker, and next to it is my replica in half size, again with a silver dial, but this time on an onyx base. Notice that the pendulum is the standard Gustav Becker disc pendulum. I enjoyed this little clock for 7 years, and then one day a very insistent American visitor would not leave the house without the clock. It cost him a bit to get out of the house, but he took it with him. Jump forward another 5 years, and I thought, it's time to make another of those beautiful little miniature skeleton clocks. But this time, rather than making everything by hand, I decided to go with a computer-made model. And as before, the running gear for the clock would be coming from a Coma Midget 400-day clock. Stage one of the project was to construct the plates, the scroll legs, and the dial. When scaled down to half size, the plates for the skeleton clock have not got enough metal to carry all of the pivots for the Coma Midget wheel train, so extra metal has to be allowed for in two places. As you can see here, my design was digitized with software on the computer, which then feeds that information directly to the milling head, and it simply then cuts out the frame according to the software program. Fast and accurate with a very fine cutter. Exactly the same process to make the scroll legs. The dial also done on a milling machine, and you can see how beautiful the engraving is into the brass disc. The full frame and the dial are now complete. The speed and the accuracy of the CNC milling machine makes it a very, very simple matter to make multiple copies of the design. Much, much quicker than trying to do it all by hand. And so you can see here there are enough plates to make 2 clocks. The next two slides are a series of pictures which take you through the step-by-step construction of the movement to a final test run. Here are the two completed movements, fitted with the Coma Midget 400-day clock wheelwork and two of the pendulums from those original clocks for a test run. Movements complete. In this stage, the dial will be completed, hands and the feet made and fitted. The original Gustav Becker full-size skeleton clock had two dial options. One was silver with black numerals, and the other was a white cartouche dial with blue numerals. This time I've opted for the white dial with the blue numerals. Also, the small feet have been made and fitted. I really prefer this blue numeraled white cartouche dial. It really has an appeal. Here's the completed dial, hands and feet fitted to the frame and movement of the clock. Shown here is my full-size Gustav Becker skeleton clock with the original white cartouche dial and blue numerals, but also with the magnificent coronet pendulum. On the left is my clock so far, and you can see it with a standard disc ready to be converted to the coronet. Also, the base that it's on will not be my final choice. This stage I will make the coronet pendulum. The deck and the buttresses again were made using CNC milling machine. Every buttress will then be identical, and the decks are all beautifully cut and symmetrical. So that the clock will have the same rating as it would have had with the original 3-ball pendulum, the mass of this coronet pendulum should be the same as the original. To make it that, the rim, which was solid brass, has been grooved underneath, and then that groove filled with lead to bring the entire pendulum mass up to the same as the original 3-ball. Here is my clock, now fitted with the coronet pendulum on a velvet covered brass base, and you could say it's complete, finished. But no, I wanted to go just one more step. I wanted to make an onyx base, just like my clock in 2004. But my old Italian stonemason who made the original onyx base for me had long since died, and I had no chance of employing him again to make an excellent onyx base. So I chose an alternative method. I turned a base out of a close-grained timber, undercoated it with white, and then proceeded to apply green and brown in a pattern to simulate onyx. fake onyx. Now my clock was complete. I trust you enjoyed this presentation. I certainly enjoyed making the little clock. If it inspires you to have a go at a project such as this, then my job is done. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, you can send them to the email address shown below. Thank you, and keep safe. Bye for now.